Welcome to episode 3 of Monster Sketch Theater. In today's episode, we'll be getting to know the Boogeyman, or at least one interpretation of him. When researching the Boogeyman, I quickly realized that it doesn't have a specific appearance, and descriptions vary widely. Versions of the Boogeyman are found in every culture, so maybe the entity that is the Boogeyman can change its appearance to fit the particular offending child's nightmares. The general idea behind the Boogeyman is that it is used as a threat by parents to scare their children into compliance. You want Johnny to eat his vegetables? Tell him if he doesn't, a vile flesh-eating creature will hunt him down at night and take him away where he'll be slowly consumed alive. Yep, that'll do it. According to Wikipedia, the first reference of the Boogeyman would be considered the hobgoblins described in England in the 1500s. It was believed their purpose was to torment humans. I guess as time went on, the Boogeyman stepped up his game a little, at least in some areas of the world. As I mentioned earlier, the Boogeyman is found in every culture. This got me thinking, it must have to travel a lot. After all, there are so many kids out there that need to be taught a lesson. So I thought it would be better if the Boogeyman was a vagabond walking the earth, just waiting for a call from an angry or frustrated parent. I wanted to dress him up to reinforce the homeless wanderer vibe. I also thought it would be good for him to blend in, so he could hide out or even take a nap in an alley somewhere, and nobody would be the wiser. Due to his vagabond life, he probably doesn't bathe very often, though that could give him an advantage with his work. Perhaps his putrid smell is a warning for all the terrible children that refuse to eat their vegetables that the reckoning is coming. As written by Publius Syrus, 42 BC, the fear of death is to be more dreaded than death itself. In many countries, there is a variant of the Boogeyman called the Sackman. This version of the Boogeyman uses a large sack to carry the children away. I like this idea, but instead of carrying around a big sack all the time, I imagine he would probably just use the children's own bed sheets to wrap them up and carry them off to their deaths. I think his teeth would be stained red from all the years of eating live children. I mean, they probably bleed a lot when he starts biting into them. It would make sense to have stained the area around his mouth as well, but I like the contrast of the red mouth against the pale skin. After all, whoever said the Boogeyman was a messy eater anyway? Sure, most monsters are a bit ravenous when eating people and make quite a mess, but there's no reason why the Boogeyman can't be a gentleman at the dinner table. Besides, those teeth are so sharp, he probably doesn't have to grapple much with the flesh anyway. Perhaps he could snip chunks of flesh off as easy as biting into a piece of jello. Similar to the cookie cutter shark, which can bite pieces of flesh from its victim so cleanly that it was the reason behind their name. You know, another interesting fact about the cookie cutter shark, its tooth to body size ratio is larger than any shark known. That's a lot of bite packed into such a small fish. As unpleasant as it is to have a creature going around eating children, just imagine what the world would be like without this necessary evil. Children would be staying up past their bedtime, eating dessert before dinner, and for goodness sakes, no vegetables would ever be eaten. It would be pandemonium. I don't know about you, but that's not a world I want to live in. Until next time.